Hey guys, my name is Nora Franche, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. I wanted to give you that chance to just listen to Bill W.'s essay in yesterday's podcast episode. And I'm going to do a little series, however many it takes, I'm not sure, to go through it with you. And just to go through what jumps out at me, just like you would with the big book or any other kind of work. And just what jumps out at me in terms of emotional sobriety and my journey and coaching and, the own personal way I work my program. And I'm going to start at the end for some reason and move my way backwards. And hopefully it makes sense by the time we're done. So I wanted to start with that last line. I've been given a quiet place in bright sunshine. And to me, that sounds like the happy, joyous, and free that we are promised in the big book. And I love how he says, he brings it about that, I'm not giving you a new idea. That really this emotional sobriety is the promise of working the 12 steps in all our affairs. And I love how earlier he alludes to the fact that like he learned how to do it with alcohol. And that's why our substance of choice is such a gift. It's such a huge gift because if we didn't have that one thing that just walloped us, that just knocked us out, uh, we wouldn't have found the 12 steps. And once in recovery, we would not be convinced that whatever they recommend is the thing that will work. So I'll try to say that again in a more sensible way. But that once we learn how to work the 12 steps with our substance of choice, once we have moved through and actually see it work with the thing in us that was completely beyond us that we couldn't understand, then we're willing to try it in these other areas where we are less, quote unquote, powerless. And we can start to work it in relationships, and we can start to work it in other smaller habits or ways of thinking and feeling and acting, in every single part of our interior life, in our exterior life, we can start to work the principles of the 12 steps and the steps themselves. And the reason for it is because we got to see it work. We saw it work. We're no longer, eating, drinking, gambling, whatever. We're no longer doing this thing that we believed would be the death of us because we couldn't stop. And so I think that is the gift of that thing, that gift of desperation that brought you into the steps. It now pays it forward because it gives us something to go on, that maybe this will work in this scenario too, or in that scenario, or in that scenario. And once we're able to do this, like he says here, it's not a new idea, but now we get to apply our 12-step living to every area of our life. And we get to the point where, well, really to the demands that he talks about, those disturbances and those demands. And we get to finally get to that place of happy, joyous, and free, of a quiet place in bright sunshine, once we do apply it to every little thing that bothers and unsettles us, which obviously is the work of a lifetime. We start with our 4-step inventory that has to do with whatever substance we have an issue with. And we get to spend the rest of our life doing it in all our affairs, little by little, trickle by trickle, to that point where we finally get to be unfettered from all these unhealthy attachments and demands that we have. So that's enough for today. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.